All right, hello and welcome. This is JTV Entertainment. I'm Joseph the Voice. We're sitting here hanging out with DerekTheGrizzly today. Going to do an interview with him. And the good
Hello.
news is, this is episode 13, sitting down with DerekTheGrizzly. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Couldn't ask for a
Good to
better
hear.
person to have on an
Thanks,
interview
man.
today. My first
I appreciate it.
official interview, I'll say. I had my mom on the one time, but we had some audio issues and stuff like that, but I'm feeling confident. I mean, people know you from being behind the scenes. They've never really got to talk to you too much. I mean, you do stream, you have your own stuff going on, and feel free to
Absolutely.
shout out your link real quick.
That would be DerekTheGrizzly at twitch.tv.
So guys, go and check out DerekTheGrizzly. He's a fantastic guy. And fun fact for you guys, for any of you that do not know, DerekTheGrizzly, Derek over here, this fantastically, amazingly beautiful looking human being, is actually the manager of JTV Entertainment. You see that? JTV Entertainment. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Derek will have his soon. It's my fault that he doesn't have it yet because I haven't shipped it. I'm a broke bastard.
That's okay, man. I'm excited for him.
But nonetheless, we got a lot of cool things coming your way. I know me and Derek have been talking about a bunch of cool things. Cause let me just show you guys conceptually some of the things that people have been making for me, which has gotten our minds just churning. So
oh, there are ideas flowing.
so we got this beautiful Wario coin that I had somebody print up for me. I actually printed him up the V1 version of it, but we got this going, and we're actually going to be conceptualizing a JTV Entertainment coin. As
That's in
well
the works right now.
as let me pull this up. This is beaut. So we got this guy right here. This guy, it doesn't look too special when you first look at it. It does though. To me, it looks special from every angle. But you go like that, and if you guys remember these, you put the light up to it, and boom, look at that pop.
Wow.
So we got people
That's
making
awesome.
some cool different 3Ds. So that is the Missoula family. Huge thank you to Charlie and Anthony and Pam. You guys are amazing, amazing souls, always looking out for the better interests of myself and those around you. And I appreciate you. So yeah, Derek, so we've been working together now for what? Probably almost close to 5-6 months or something like that.
Yeah, around there. Absolutely.
Came into my community actually through one of my esports students.
Yes.
And I got to do something real quick. I'm too ugly, so my camera just doesn't want to look at me right. It's blurring me. It's dude, you're hideous. I'm just joking. All right, but we're back. There we go. We're clear.
There you
Yeah,
go.
you actually came through my community through actually one of my esports students from Case High School, Dr. Lunatic, as some of you guys might know. And it's funny because I remember when I first met him, he was a really shy and bashful individual, but really kind of built his way into the team and being a leader. And I remember when he kind of started talking about you and stuff, he was like, yeah, there's this cool guy named Derek that I hang out with, and another guy, Fuzzy the Walrus, and he was like, I think you two would really link up. And I remember me and you sat down, and one of the first things, we found out we're the same age. We got a lot of very similar ideals in mind of how we'd like to structure our lives or how we like to approach things. And
Right.
it's definitely been quite the journey up to this point, I must say.
It has been. It has been quite the journey. I'm excited to be here.
Mind me asking, what would you say is probably one of your favorite things up to this point that you feel that you've really kind of taken out of this whole experience? And then maybe even top it off with maybe one of the worst things that might have happened that made you just man, I don't know.
I'll give you two good things.
Okay.
I'll give you two good things. One here. One is I've been welcomed with open arms into a very welcoming and friendly community. And I got to say, as an insider myself, the JTV Entertainment crew is the friendliest group of people I've ever met. And I'm a social guy. I like to meet people. You guys are just too friendly, and I love it. And number two, and the less important one, but I'm going to state it anyways, is I finally found someone to play drop shot with.
Yes. You guys hear that? Drop shot buddies. I love it.
Yes. We're few and far between, man.
For sure. So if you had to say, what is one of the things that you think has kind of maybe been something that you maybe didn't enjoy, or something that stuck out, you're just I don't know how I felt about that. Maybe it could have been something that I did, something happened in stream, or just something in general that stuck out that was just man, I don't know.
You know what? There hasn't really been anything that's made me question the community, anyone. There hasn't been anything that's made me question it. But there have been times when I've thought there are issues, but nothing we can't overcome. Truly, I don't really see a lot of issues with our community.
That's good to hear, and I'm really glad to hear that. And actually, I did make a list of questions. If any of you do remember from my videos past, I did tell you guys that I would be asking myself questions, and in turn asking those around me those same questions. So I grabbed 9 in particular questions, and we're going to end up probably hammering out on most of them, if not all of them. We might go on wild tangents, start talking about some other cool stuff. Because, I mean, before we even get into these, I mean, one of the things that I know that I wanted to talk about, because we're talking about like little trinkets and stuff that we're making for like giveaways. Mm-hmm. I know I just got more stickers in. So you guys remember the original metallic Too Sweet stickers? So we have the V2 of those now. We have the V2 of those now. So we redid the logo a while back, and a lot of people don't know this, but we redid a little bit with the hat, with like just like the JTV looked a little bit differently. And we redid kind of how the hat structurally looked and stuff like that. It was just little minimal things that you might not even notice. But you will no longer see that old sticker. When I told you guys that you guys will never see that metallic sticker again, you won't. You guys are going to see the new, improved JTV logo that's actually been around for a while, and you guys have already seen it a bunch. But it's just, it's a little different. It's got the slits in the hat and stuff like that. It's just a little bit more clean looking, if you ask me. And, I mean, Derek will probably tell you himself, I mean, working with your favorite Canadian, the guy is so rigorous. He works so hard, and he makes things look so beautiful.
Very hardworking guy.
Like, he'll come to me, like, late at night, and he'll, like, send me a bunch of images, and like, bro, look what I just did. Check out all this stuff. And he's just always growing and improving.
Enthusiastic about his work, too.
So enthusiastic. And, I mean, he helped me with this overlay along with Misery Ren, kind of giving her pointers and structurally as to, like, kind of seeing that JTV kind of blurring in the background a little bit, so you kind of sway behind. Yeah, we have, honestly, I couldn't imagine having a better team behind me. Because, like, you look at how we all kind of come together and how we build up one another and kind of, like, our backgrounds and stuff. Like, none of us, like, always have to be there, but, like, we want to be there, or we want to be a part of it, or we want to, like, build in it some way, whether it's networking. I know, like, you in particular do a lot of networking to get yourself out there, but you've been doing a lot of networking just to put myself out there. And I really do appreciate, just from, like, the bottom of my heart, that you are so selfless about just, you know, helping out with the cause. And there's been times where it's like, man, I'm stressing really hard. You know, it's been a bad day or something like that. And you're like, hey, man, what's up? Let's talk. Let's play some games or something.
Yeah.
And
well, in that sense, I like to be there for anyone who needs it. And in your case, you've been there for me many a times, and I appreciate that as well. But in reality, it's more about, you know, I like to have a focus on mental health and physical health and that big group of things there. But when you and I get on the same page, good things happen. And I don't like it when I see you down in the dumps or anything like that. So I just like to check in with you and make sure, hey, are you okay?
Yeah, and vice versa. I try to do the same. And, like, even talking about mental health and stuff and, like, physical health and stuff like that. I mean, you know, talking to you every day and hearing you, like, you know, man, I got to go for my run. Even days where, like, you're like, you know, fuck me, I don't want to go for my run. You're still like, I'm going for my run. I mean, I'm not gonna lie for you. I went for that nice walk last week. And I haven't gone for one since. It started snowing. It got super fucking cold out. I was like, I don't want to go outside. I don't want to be out there. But, like, I need to keep pushing myself through that adversity and just be like, you know what? Just do it. But my thing is I'm afraid to slip on ice. I've done it too many times already in my life that I'm afraid I'm going to be, like, doing some jogging. All of a sudden I'm going to slip and fall. And I'm like, all right, who do I call now? Ghostbusters aren't going to come to save me. So, like, yeah, it's one of those situations where, yeah, I really do want to continue doing it. I honestly, that day when I was out there and I was like it just started, like, I'm not gonna lie. I went out, I took a left from my house. I'm going down. I'm just nice pacing, just going. And then I hit, like, that first corner and my calves were burning, bro. I'm like, shit. But I'm like, nah, don't stop. Keep pushing. By the time I got to, like, that next, like, corner, the pain already, like, started to, like, fade away, because, like, my body's just not used to it. It just has to, like, and mind you, I used to work for the Milwaukee Admirals. I used to walk everywhere around the stadium. I was one of the quickest people in there because I walk really fast, which is why, like,
it's a lot of ground to cover too.
Exactly. And, like, I started doing it, and, like, you know, the pain started to subside. I started feeling a lot better about it, you know. And then, like, I'm getting to a point where, like, I'm like, you know, do I just go around the block and call it for the day? And I start going around, like, because it's like a nice, like, big circle. I get to the point now, I go, no, we're gonna turn here. We're gonna turn out. We're gonna go see what's going on in this other neighborhood over here real quick. We're just gonna go check out over here real quick. So we start going over there, and then, like, I take a turn, and I'm, like, following, and, like, I get into, like, this back neighborhood, and I get to the point where it's like, all right, do I go back into my neighborhood? It's like, no, dude, let's go see what the lake looks like today. Let's go check out Lake Michigan. You know, you haven't been down there in a while. So, like, I go and I push myself, and I'm like, all right, now we're out at Lake Michigan, and I only took like maybe like a 10-minute break. I just sat down, I just took a couple deep breaths, listened to my music. I even changed my I started with like some really like kind of like more heavy like dubstep music, just getting myself in the rhythm, kind of trying to walk to the pace, just kind of keeping up, you know, the heartbeat, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
When I got over by the lake, I decided to put on more chill music. I was like, let's relax for a minute, let's take a breather. And I kept on that music, but like I didn't like cancel the mentality. It was like once I started going again, I'm going again. And I'm a bigger guy, I'm not small. So like I get to one point where like I get to like this like back neighborhood, and I was like, all right. I was like, here it is. Here's that moment. I was like, you've been doing all this walking. I was like, you're gonna push yourself now. So like I started like running. I started like running around the bend, and I saw this lady was like walking there, so I felt kind of like insecure a little bit because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to run past her. Take a break. And like I don't want her to feel like I'm running up on her because it's in a back neighborhood, you know, because it's like awkward. So like I slowed down, caught a quick breather, and I paced myself in like 3 sets, but I like jogged it through every time until like I hit my marker, and I was like, I saw a marker in the distance, like that's where you're getting to, like that's where you're getting to. There's no stopping, no nothing. By the time I got through the third one, bro, I swear my left lung felt like it was about to collapse. I was like, I like couldn't catch my breath. I was like, oh my, and I don't have asthma, bro. I was like, oh my God, you are so out of shape, bro. I was like, why did you push yourself so hard? Why are you so stubborn? Why do you always feel the need to push yourself to the limits? And then I still,
well, you know what? That's part of just getting in that runner's high. I don't do a lot of running, but I do a walk every day.
Bro, it made me feel sick.
No failure.
It made me feel sick.
It does.
But like the thing is I was
after my first week of it. After my first week of it, I was sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
I probably didn't eat that day because I was just so exhausted, so nauseous from. Well, exactly. And now, like, I don't go a day without running. I don't go a day without walking. I can't.
Right.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Mentally, it hurts.
Yeah.
And I mean, hey, it was super nice here on Sunday. So I went for a long one. I went for an hour walk, and then I followed it up with another 2-hour walk.
Hey, that's epic. And that, like, for me to be able to go 5 miles and 10,000 steps, it's not like it's never once, bro, just hear me out. I didn't leave that day with like, I'm setting myself a marker. I was just like, I'm just going to keep on going until I feel like I'm done. And it literally just so happened to be 5 miles and 10,000 steps. And I was like, holy crap, that's a nice exchange.
That's
like,
pretty impressive.
When I got to the point where I was like basically super exhausted and ready to like give up, I had no choice because I was so far away from my house. I was like, you clearly got to walk home. You clearly got to walk home. So like, I'm like walking, I'm like going to like a back neighborhood. Like I'm trying to avoid being on the street as much as possible. Cause like at one point I thought like, I pushed myself so hard, I thought I was gonna black out for a second. I was like, oh man, bro, like you really can't do this to yourself. Cause like, you know, I deal with like other health concerns and stuff like that. But I don't know what it was about myself that day that I wanted to see what my limits were. Like, if you're gonna do this, let's see what is the extent of where you can go with it and then back off from there. So now like, I know I can do that exact same amount, just don't run. Just don't take that run-in section into it and you'll be fine. And eventually you'll start to pace yourself quicker. You'll be able to walk faster. You'll start to like, and it's like, it's a build-up, just like with everything else in life. You can't expect just to jump into it and like it's done. No, you got to build into it. You got to take your time. And like I see all these people around me that are like really working hard on making themselves like more physically, you know, prowess is just how I'll say it. Like you're on top of it. Your mind and your body are just working as one. And I had one friend that 327 days ago when I started my daily speaking challenge, which is only a 90-day speaking challenge. It ended up being where I had one of my friends hit me up and he's like, dude, you're just so consistent with it. You're just so on top of it. And he's like, you kind of motivate me. And now he works out all the time and he's gotten in really good shape and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, like I was able to motivate somebody from just me being consistent, me just being like kind and generous. Like I was able to motivate somebody just to want to work out. I see people working out and it makes me want to work out, but I was able to motivate them from me just sitting here, not even moving other than my freaking mouth. I got them to want to get up and move. And that makes me really happy to see that stuff. So like, no, I feel really motivated to like kind of want to get up. And I guess at the same time, it like demotivates me. It's crazy because like I go on that long run and I feel super great about everything. And then I don't run the last few days and I've been feeling like shit.
Well, you know what? And that's one of the things about my runs as well, is that initially I went out and visited a friend of mine and he is in immaculate shape. He's a weightlifter. He goes on hikes all the time. His girlfriend is an athlete as well. Like he's a muscular dude. And when I went out and visited them, like, I'm a skinny dude who's got a little bit of a beer gut, and I'm not in great shape. And I was like, man, I used to be able to run laps around this kid when I was younger. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to go home and I'm going to get myself in better shape. I'm going to go for runs. I'm going to start working out. And at first, it didn't work. At first, I just couldn't do it. And I didn't have the patience for it. I didn't have the mental dexterity for it. I just couldn't do it. And I thought, you know what? I'll just take it step by step. I'll go one run a week and lift a little bit of weights at home and I'll feel better. And it started building and building and building. And now it's like, hey, if I don't go for an hour-long run today, I'm going to feel like crap tomorrow. And if I don't do my workout today, same thing.
I mean, and you know as well as me, one of my biggest things is I'm trying so hard to time manage everything, get everything time slotted. So it's like, I don't want to go for a run early in the day and then not feel physically able to handle the other things I need to do in the day. So it's like, I think I might end up being a late night runner, but now I have to figure out, what do I need to be a late night runner? You need like lights, you have to have like a vest thing, and it's like things like that that you like literally have to have so you don't die, so you don't want to die. Like, so I have to go and pick up some of that stuff, and it's like, I'm okay with that, but it's also like cold at night, but like I got my headphones. It's like, I'm not worried. It's just, it's all a mental thing. And you know, for me, like I'm a person who I'm always moving. I'm always trying to make things happen. But like, this is something I need because it's the one time where like you can't preach having a healthy mental mind and a healthy like physical prowess and all that and tell people to get up and go and like do things and then not do it yourself. You can't speak and then not act upon your actions. Like, one of the worst things you can ever do is honestly just say something and then not hold true to your word. So
hypocrisy. Their term in there is hypocrisy.
So I try my hardest to make sure that, you know, I follow through with the things that I'm saying. And like, I have other friends, like my best friend, like me and him growing up, like we were always bigger guys. Like I used to weigh almost 300 pounds at one point in my life. And I've been like nothing but like losing weight throughout my life. And I do feel better about myself. But then like I have these like fits with like heartburn and stuff like that. They just make me feel sick. But it's like, I just need to stay consistent with it. I need to stay on top of it. I need to like, you know, I really need to sit down, make a list of here's all the things that you need, like, you know, like peppermint oil, things like that. Like if I'm gonna go for a run, throw a little bit of peppermint oil in my water, throw a little bit of like orange in my water, like things that you know that if my stomach started getting upset in the middle of a freaking run, I wouldn't be like, oh, woe is me. I'd be like, oh no, I'm good. I just gotta take a couple sips, sit down, take a breather, get back to it. Like there's things that I can do to overcome this, and I think that's my biggest thing is I've let my physical health. So 10 years of me being sick, and then some of the other more personal things that me and you have talked about kind of like restrict me from really trying to reach for all my goals in life.
And I'll say absolutely, but there's also the personal mental block that you put on it, because you know I'm an asthmatic and an ex-smoker, and me going for my runs, that's really hard to deal with when I'm standing there and I've ran for 5 minutes and I'm sitting there and I can't breathe and I can't catch my breath. Well, I know I can't push myself that hard. I have to take it easy. When I feel like I'm about to start breathing heavy, stop, take it easy, let myself breathe. You set your own restrictions.
Exactly.
And that's how you get better with it.
Exactly. And I think just honestly, you saying that I think is a good like opportunity for me to bring up something like when we're talking about like mental health, we're talking about like physical health and things like that. Like, you know, setting your own pace in life and standing on your own standards and living by what you want to do in life is honestly one of the most important things. And I think a lot of times we let others dictate our pace, we let other people dictate how we kind of want to move accordingly through things. And just us talking about a simple run gives me the great leeway just to be like, you know, make sure that you're pacing yourself in life. If you feel like things are getting a little too ahead of yourself, you feel like life is becoming a little too overwhelming. I know people tell me all the time, you know, take a step back, but like me sitting here right now, not taking that step back, but in a way taking a step back and sitting here talking to Derek about it, talking about, you know, these restraints, these restrictions, these things that I feel I need to overcome. This is what helps me. This is what strives me. I would like you guys to know about what I'm dealing with in life so you guys can understand how to overcome it. If I don't leave myself in this vulnerable position in life, it's not fair to you guys to understand who I am or want to be a part of my life if I'm not giving you an opportunity to be a part of it. I'm not saying you got to hit me up every day and say, you know, how you doing? But there are people, I've already looked at the chat 5 seconds ago, and there's people that I already see in chat that you guys have been so super amazingly supportive and there for me. You guys have been there for Derek. You guys have been there for Canada. You guys have been there for all these different people around the community, and I absolutely adore you and I appreciate you.
There's a lot of support in our community.
Exactly.
It really is.
And if I could honestly, every day give you all a shout out for all your amazing accommodations in life, I would. Like, if you guys ever feel like there's an accommodation you want to shout out and you feel like you're not going to get the presents by you making your own shout out, like, don't feel bad if you hit me up and say, Joe, let people know I'm doing this amazing thing in life. Tell them. Because guess what? I'm a hype man for a reason. Let's turn it up. We just made a JTV love emote. We got the peaking emote. We're all over the place right now. We're peaking in life.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
And if Joe misses it, I'll catch it. And if I catch it, Joe's going to hear about it.
Fact.
Yep.
So, let's get into the fun part of things, because we've been sitting here talking about a few different things, talking about mental health and all that other things, but let's get to know Derek a little bit. Let's get to know the man behind the Grizz.
Okay, let's do it, buddy. Let's do it.
All right. So I think I might just go these in order. They're all over the place. So what is, if you had to say, because we've talked about like your drives, your ambitions, your goals and stuff like that a little bit, but what are one of the things that you think is one of your biggest hinders? What is like one of your greatest fears that you think kind of restricts you in life?
Well, we've talked about this a lot, you and I have, and that's my mental health. And I've gone through ups and downs in the last few months, and I've done a lot of struggling, and clearly I'm in better shape than I was. You know that. And one of my biggest fears is that I lose myself in my mental health, and I let it dictate me. And I'm trying not to let it dictate me, but it can be hard from time to time. You know as well as I do that sometimes mental health just steps out in front of you and doesn't let you do what you want to do in life. And I think my greatest fear is
just letting your mental health just overcome you, and that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, like I've told people in the past, stuff like that, it's a simpler type of mentality where it's, feeling that I'm losing myself within it all. Like you're just not being able to maintain your status quo of what you want to be doing or where you want to be in life. And it's not like I have these wildly, grand expectations. I'm a very, literal thinker, and that. Like, obviously I have these big dreams and goals, but like I'm very literal in the sense of it all. So like I definitely do understand that. And I think this is a good second question to follow it up with. So one of your greatest fears being your mental, trying to overcome that mental prowess at times. Mm-hmm. What would you say is one of the biggest things that surprises people about you?
One of the biggest things that surprises people about me is that I do suffer from a traumatic brain injury. A few years ago, I was out with my family and we were curling. Very Canadian thing to do. I know. And we were just, having some fun. We were down a little bit, and I was trying to put on the pressure, and we took a shot, and I was out there sweeping, and I slipped on the ice, and I fell and hit my head pretty hard on the ice. And I stood up, and everything just kind of went black and blurred out. And I didn't really think a lot about it then. But after that, I've noticed I've had more and more issues, headaches being some of them, and decreased attention span, and my sleep has been off because of it. And I went and got diagnosed a little while, and I do have a brain injury, but it's not something that holds me back. Clearly, as you can tell, I try not to let it affect me too much.
I mean, yeah, you do a lot of amazing things. I know one of the things that like surprises me that I feel like you don't talk about enough, and you're starting to kind of get involved within your stream and stuff like that, is a lot of you guys might not know this, but Derek is actually a really good 3D modeler. He's been actually working on a few different projects, and he's going to be working on many more. He's actually already told me, hey, Joe, I have all these different ideas that I'd like to do for JTV Entertainment. Mm-hmm. And the thing is I'm excited because like I have people willing to do 3D printing for me. And it's really exciting that we can like take a concept and put it right into fruition right away. And that just makes me really excited. And I think for me, that's one of the things that surprises me most, is that you don't feature yourself enough as being this kind of like, really well-defined and growing 3D modeler. So
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
Because I know other 3D modelers, and I don't like talk about that often, but I know other 3D modelers, and you, compared to some of the other ones, your drive and what you do is very nice in comparison to what they do. And I'm not trying to like bash on them, but you do a very fantastic job. So
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
So talking about like your career and things like that, So what are some of your plans in like the next like 5 years? What are like your, like if you were to give yourself a 5-year plan today, what is the Derek the Grizzly 5-year plan?
The 5-year plan for me is actually to go into school and actually take 3D modeling and grow myself in that side of things. Actually start taking it more seriously and start working in the industry more. I mean, I took it on as a pastime and I found I had more fun with it than you would imagine. And you've already made a statement about it, but I am talented with it. I mean, the background of my computer is one of my 3D renders. I mean, I've done it a little bit on stream and people seem to enjoy it a little bit, but yeah, that's the 5-year plan, is go to school and get a job in it.
Well, hey, I'm here for you the whole way through, and I definitely hope that you can keep writing out those ambitions and goals, and let's make a bunch of fun little projects in the meantime. So I'm definitely down for that. So, obviously, you're trying to build into your own goals. You're trying to build into your own ambitions. You're even helping build into my own goals and ambitions through JTV Entertainment. But if you could own your own business, what would it be and why?
That's a hard one. I might go into tech. I mean, making or selling phones, something like that. Like I've always been a kind of a gadgets guy, like making like Bluetooth speakers and good headsets and
so
stuff
like
like
the
that.
next like Samsung or like Sony, or like you'd want to be a competitor on that level.
Well, I'd like to be a competitor on that level, but
Hey, we're
talking
about like on like a wild, ambitious kind of goal. Like, I mean, if you could kind of,
well, in that sense, yes, absolutely. I'd like to be. I'd like to sell a big console or something like that, like a competitor to the PlayStation. Shout out to these guys right here.
I saw that the whole time. So I was like, "Is that a PlayStation hat?" I love it. I love it.
PlayStation hat.
So, I mean, that's a really cool goal in life, honestly. And speaking about like just like goals in life and like things and like achievements and all bolsterous kind of ideas and stuff, what are 3 things on your bucket list? If you had to like define, like, here's 3 things that I feel like I really want to get done before I kick the bucket.
Well, one of them is to grow a family. I've always wanted to be like a good father and have a nice family, and that's in the works, but we're not going to talk too much about that one yet.
No, don't blush too hard on screen now. Hey, give your lovely lady a shout out.
Okay, well, I don't think I'm going to do that right now, but
just say hello. Just say hello, Miss Grizzly. We'll give a lovely hello to little Miss Grizzly. I love you.
Another one on my bucket list items is to go skydiving. I don't like planes. I hate flying, but I got to do it. I got to do it at least once.
I literally think I'd black. I couldn't do it.
I'm sure I would too, but you know what? It's something that I got to try at least once.
Derek, we'll just hold hands as we jump out of the plane because, like, you forgot your chute. Damn it!
Yeah. And another one is to own a classic muscle car.
Ooh, which one? If you don't mind me asking, I know which one I would.
Well, there's a lot of good options out there, but my dream car would be a 1971 Dodge Challenger RT.
Nice. Mine's a 1969 Pontiac GTO Judge Series. I don't even care.
Car too.
And like, I don't want the original like burnt orange. I want like one of those off colors. Like I want one of like the reds or the blues or something that just like really like pops and stands out, more unique than the rest.
Good colors.
They did have some very beautiful colors. Yeah. So continuing on, just like talking about, ideals of like success and like, things like that. If you had to like define, what is your true like definition of success in life?
That's a deep question.
It is.
It's a really deep question. I would say my definition of success is growing and building yourself into a. I want to phrase this right. Growing yourself and building yourself into a self-sustaining and enjoyable person to the community, and to leave yourself behind a legacy of a good family or a good business, something that'll leave
an impression.
Something, yes, exactly. Something that'll leave a positive impression on the community.
I like that. I really do. I feel very, very similar about that in life. That if I could, I just feel like I changed one life. That, you know, that's enough for me. And I honestly, being in a position where I can change many just makes it so much better. And I never want to sound selfish, but sometimes you're sitting there and you get stuck in your own mental health and stuff, and you just got to remember all those faces and all those amazing people that really genuinely just do want you to succeed, or really just want to see what's best for you in life, and really just genuinely want to see you smile. So like that kind of stuff I definitely do like to see and hear. So all right, now here's a little bit more like really wildly ambitious one. So you said, you know, tech, something like that, for like if you could have your own like second career off of what you're doing now. But if you retired tomorrow, let's say, you know, you're done, you got plenty of money in the bank, everything is good, and you wanted to start a wildly different second career, just wildly ambitious second career, what would you do? What would it be?
Well, if money was no object and I had no issues with money, then I'd probably go into photography, something like that. Just going out and taking pictures of something in the wild, because that's what I like to do. Is I like to go out into the wild. I like to go camping. I like to go off road, and I like to go out into the woods and just live life.
I think, guys, we're gonna go back to the surprise. What surprised you about Derek the Grizzly likes to be outside taking photos of wildlife and nature.
Yeah.
Never would have guessed.
Grizzly wants to be outside. Surprise,
the Grizzly
surprise.
wants to be outside in nature. Nah, I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Absolutely.
So, we did press a little bit on like deeper qualities and deeper like thoughts and stuff like that. But let's get a little bit more insight as to maybe who has been one of the more impactful people in your life. Who do you look up to most in life, and like what kind of qualities do you love about that particular person?
Well, there's actually a lot of people that I look up to in my life. Many influential people. Like my grandfather's one of the people that I look up to. My dad, a couple of my aunts and uncles, a lot of family members that I've known my whole life. A couple of friends' parents. But if I had to say one person specifically, it would be my dad. He's a hardworking guy. He puts everything behind his family. Like, the man's done everything in his life to give a good life to his family. And I mean, times were tough when we were younger, but we grew up and we lived a pretty happy life because my dad worked so hard and was so ambitious into some of the things that he had to do to raise a happy family.
I feel that. You can see it in his eyes, people. Yeah. There's some real love there. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. And this is going to be one of the last questions, I think, before we kind of wrap it up for the night. But what is one thing that people don't know about you? I know we've tapped a little bit into that with the surprise when you said like with your head injury and stuff like that. But there's got to be something that's just like, what is that one hidden thing about Derek that people just need to know? And guys, he's crap at Rocket League, so I mean, like, it's not.
No. I am the most accident-prone person in the world. I broke my ribs 5 times in a 2-year span. I've broken my left wrist twice, my right wrist about a half dozen times, broken a collarbone, a knee, bunch
they
of
haven't
fingers,
put you in a bubble
bunch
yet?
of stuff. They should. They really should.
Oh, I love it. Oh, man. Well, honestly, Derek, I've had an amazing time just kind of hanging out, you know, shooting the breeze. I guarantee we're still going to hang out after this call anyways and probably play some Rocket League or something. But, dude, I really do appreciate you taking this time, hanging out, letting people know a little bit more about yourself, kind of who you are and kind of where you want to go in life. I definitely feel the passion coming from you, and I definitely not for a second do I feel like I made a wrong decision when I asked you to join my team, especially when I asked you to be in the kind of position that you are. You definitely step up to the mark when I need you to, and I really do appreciate it from the absolute bottom of my heart. I can't wait till you're wearing the merch. We all just gonna shine together. It's gonna look so beautiful. Yeah. So I definitely appreciate you.
You made a mention about this earlier, that there's a chance of getting hats on, and
Oh yeah,
I'd love to be able to replace this guy.
I was just about to get into merch too. So guys, so two things. So one, we're gonna be putting up the store again, so you guys can actually still buy some Founders Edition merch. I talked to my guy. There was a bunch of people that hit me up after the fact that were just like, "Hey man, it was a bad time for me. I really just want to get some." And so I'm gonna give you guys one more chance to do it. Once the store is up, I will let you guys know. It'll be up for about a week. But yeah, we're looking at some conceptual ideas for hats that will also be up in the store. And after this call, I'm actually gonna sit down with Derek and show him some of the cool stuff that we're coming up with. And hopefully we can bring you guys some awesome stuff that you guys will enjoy. So much love to you guys. I think we're going to call this for a night. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for tuning in to JTV Entertainment. I'm Joseph the Voice. This is Derek the Grizzly. We'll catch you later.